Hey everyone, welcome back. I'm back in Canada for the summer, visiting the family. I'll be heading back to Chiang Mai in early October, so stay tuned for lots of videos starting then. So in the last video, I talked about having to sell my bar to my ex-partner. And there was a lot of questions about what exactly made me come to this conclusion. So I'll be going over what exactly happened, what disagreements we had, what visions we had that differed to make me want to sell the bar. Anyways, grab a drink, sit back, and let's get into it. For those of you who are new here, my name is Nolan Jack. I've loved Thailand for a long time, first traveling there actually on a bachelor party back in 2016, and then going again for the first time solo to stay long-term in Chiang Mai in 2020. But it was during that time that I actually met my future business partner. She owned a bar in Santitam called the Shark Bar. Now there was a big condominium building right beside that bar called D Vieng, where I was living at the time. Now that first year, I really fell in love with the nightlife of Thailand. The ability, the freedom, the energy of the bars there is just something that nowhere else has. And so I went home and then came back with a new mindset to potentially start a bar of my own. And so obviously I went and I spoke to her. Not only to see if she'd be interested in partnering with me, but just to see if she would be interested in helping me find some of the resources that I didn't have. Finding those things as a foreigner, you're not going to know. So whether it was furniture or renovation, finding contractors, speaking with contractors, glassware, liquor, you name it. She was invaluable in helping me find those things. Now I actually introduced her to Loi Kra Road, which is where our future bar was located. That is an area that is predominantly visited by foreigners. And so it's not somewhere that she'd actually gone before. And so I introduced her to the area and showed her the property that I had my eye on. And she got on board and wanted to open the bar with me. And so in January of 2023, we opened Last Bar on Loi Kra Road. Now this takes me to actually running the bar, having it up and running, have it open and having customers. Our different visions for how we thought the bar should be run were not in a line at all times. And I think a lot of that was due to the fact that she is a Thai person and I'm a foreigner, obviously. And so there are different rules that apply. So for instance, there is a discrepancy on the law of when somebody can work in a bar, when a girl can work in the bar. A girl is allowed to work in a bar at 18, but they cannot serve alcohol until they're 20. And now this is something that is usually ignored. The vast majority of bars completely ignore this law and will employ people under the age of 20. And so I wanted to strictly hire 20 and above, but that was something that caused a lot of contention between the two of us. The other big issue is something that I've gone into quite a bit on this channel, and that is the fact that we were hiring promo girl. And for those of you who don't know what a promo girl is, that is just somebody who gets hired on a weekly or monthly basis to come and to work into any different industry, bar, restaurant, trade show, what have you, for 500 baht a day. That's what their agreement was. They'd get paid 500 baht and they would go and work for a set period of time. And now at the beginning, hiring these girls was invaluable. We would not have got off the ground if we didn't hire promo girls. We simply did not have the staff. So getting those promo girls to actually have a consistent number of staff was invaluable to the bar being successful. But the problem was getting that 500 baht a day. They're used to getting that when they work. They're used to making 15,000-ish a month, and that's good. I did actually overhear some of the girls talking and saying that they didn't want customers to come in. They didn't care about customers coming in and getting drinks because they didn't want to have to deal with that. They were happy with their 500 baht a day. And so obviously that is not very conducive to a bar running successfully. These bars make money off of having customers come in and buy drinks. That's the way you make money, obviously. You need customers to make money. So having somebody who actively didn't want customers to come in was causing a lot of issues. And again, this is not my partner's fault. She had nothing to do with that, but that is just one of the things that we ran into issues with hiring promo girls. The problem was that we had also hired several girls out at a lower day rate, but a higher tip percentage. Now these girls could make a lot more money, but they'd have to get the drinks from the customers, which would drive in sales. So it was good for us and good for them. But that caused some issues between the two different groups of who would make more at which level. And so we ended up having all the full-time girls move to the promo salary. It was fine in high season. We were having a lot of customers and we were still making money and they were still getting a lot of drinks. But the problem is once it started to slow down, these girls did not want to get drinks from customers. They didn't want to bring customers in. And so it ended up being that we would lose customers and lose money because of that. Now, from the beginning, I'd wanted to move everybody from a promo rate to the full-time rate. Anybody who wanted to stay working at the bar full-time needed to be at the full-time rate. And that's where the disagreement came with my partner. She did not agree on moving them to that rate, as she figured that most would quit and then we wouldn't have anybody. And if that was the case, okay, but I don't believe that most of them would quit. And you could always hire more girls in at 500 baht a day to fill in the gap until you can get girls moving over to the full-time rate. So the staffing was a big disagreement that we had. Disagreements on how to hire staff, or what staff to hire and how much to pay them, was a huge disagreement. Because over the summer, once our slow season started, we still had 7-8 girls making 500 baht a day, but we didn't have the customers to support that, and they didn't have the mentality to bring them in to get more customers in there to make tips, to make us money. So we ended up losing money right away, and she still refused to change from that system to one that would be better for the bar. So that was big frustration on my part. Now, the next big disagreement was renovations. We disagreed on how to actually move the bar forward and what changes needed to be made. Now, if you've been there lately, you'll see we have the addition of a big glass wall in between the Muay Thai and the bar itself. Now, this was great for air conditioning and for keeping the bar cool. It was amazing. But it separated you completely from the atmosphere of the Muay Thai and the whole area of the bar complex and the bar itself. It also made the bar look closed, frankly, which is obviously not beneficial. Now, I disagreed. I didn't want to do this. I told her we didn't need to do this. We disagreed on that, and I think that is what really is hurting the bar this year compared to last. It's not the same bar as it was before, and that's because it doesn't have the same atmosphere, as you're really being isolated. Also, she was really wanting to gear it more towards Thai people, to try to get Thai people to come down to the area to experience Loi Kra Road, as those are the customers she knew and those are what she's comfortable with. But that's not what that area is built for, and that's not what that bar is designed to accommodate. And so I think that was something that we could just not agree on, and she ended up wanting to go that way, and I just did not feel that was the best way forward for the bar. So all that being said, I obviously sold the bar to her, and it has since unfortunately closed, at least for the low season. Don't regret going into business with my partner. She offered a ton of value into the relationship, and we're still friends to this day. We may have had different opinions on how to run the bar, but that's natural when you compare what a Thai person knows and feels about how to run a bar in their own country and what a foreigner does. We have different rules and different regulations, and so of course we're going to have different feelings on how to run a bar. Now, I hope that gave you a good overview of what exactly happened. If you have any other questions, please feel free to ask. Now, in my next video, I'll go over exactly what my plans are for the future, as I'll be coming back at the end of September and looking to hit the ground running. So please stay tuned. Cheers.